Hello everyone, welcome back to the Book Graveyard Vintage Genre Fiction channel here on YouTube. It's going to be a YouTube episode only, since we're just showing off covers. And we're going to show off our top 10 pulp magazine covers. These are the ones that we personally own. These aren't like my favorite of all time. If you're some hardcore pulp guy, some hardcore pulp collector, there's nothing rare in here. You're probably not going to be that impressed. It's nothing over $100. But they're mine, and I love them, and I love these covers, and I wanted to share them. I wanted to take part in Ben's little project here, Grammaticus. He invited me. He said, "Hey, Nick, I want to celebrate our friendship, just me and you, buddy. Just me and you. We're going to do this little tag team video. I'm going to show comic book covers. You show pulp covers to show our friendship to the world in celebration of our Star Wars video that we did together." And Nick, that was the most impressive Star Wars theme song on violin I've ever heard that you played in that video. And I said, "Damn, thanks, Ben. I worked really hard on it, bro. I worked really hard on it." So here it is, celebration of pulps, the friend that I made here on YouTube, Ben Grammaticus. Thank you so much. Very honored that you would just share this one thing with me and no one else. And babble, here we go. Alright, so here we go. Let's show off these pulps. Number one, I scanned them all so I can pop them up on screen. But I am going to hold them up for a second to let you know that I actually do have them. We're not pretending. We're not false. There's nothing false on the Book Graveyard. But they are brittle, and I didn't want to take them out of the bags, and there you go. So I did scan them, popped them up. Number 10, coming in at number 10. I love boxing, you love boxing. It had to be a boxing pulp in here. And I chose this one here, this Fight Stories. This is from Winter, 1945. Cover art by George Gross. Put that real cover up there, then I can look down here so I know what I'm talking about. Now, pulp artists, pulp illustrations are known for their eye-grabbing attention, to draw the eye to the cover, make you want to buy it. Now, the sports pulps usually don't have the best cover because, I don't know, I think that the people who are into the sports pulps probably didn't care as much about the art as, say, someone who's into the weird fiction or the science fiction, the adventure stuff. So usually the sports pulps don't have the best cover, but I do love this one. It's by George Gross. We look at the smiling face on the boxer. He's got the squinty eyes. They're all puffy from a match, hopefully that he won. Looks like the mafia's involved. They were probably trying to get him to throw it, and he didn't want to throw it. He had too much pride. He had honor. That's what's cool about boxing. Pride and honor, sir. So this is a George Gross cover, who was one of the best of the pulp illustrators. Went on to work in the Men's Adventure magazine era after the pulps. Kind of took over the magazine aspect of pulp fiction. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful artwork. I would hang it on my wall. So I'm not really going to talk about the stories inside because this is a cover art thing. So maybe I'll mention an author. I don't know. Who knows? Let's just keep going. Number 9. Number 9, we got Argosy here. This is from March 1940. Cover illustration by Rudolph Balarsky. Another famous name in the game. So what do we got here? We got this man fighting this giant octopus. What's more pulp? What's more pulp adventure than that? You're down there, you're diving with your machete. You come upon a giant octopus. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fight him off. You're gonna stab him underwater with your machete. I don't know how well that's gonna work. The man looks like he's losing. Anyway, let's talk about the artwork here. I like the muted colors. I like its subtle greenish yellowish tinge. It's dirty. It's a dirty underwater scene. These aren't clear crystal blue waters. He's down in the muck. I'm assuming he's found some treasure. Yeah, treasures of the deep, right there. Satan of the sea spreads evil tentacles to guard the treasures of the deep. Now that's a fucking blurb. That's how you do it, people. You put stuff like that on your cover. Yeah, wonderful stuff. Number 8. We've got this Fantastic Adventures. Very fun Fantastic Adventures cover of April 1949. Do you think that was a coincidence? Do you think that Fantastic Adventures is taking a part of April on YouTube? I don't know. I think it's on purpose. I don't think that was an accident. This cover art is by Edmund Swistek. That's not a name that I am familiar with, though he could be a very popular artist. You know, I only have like 40 pulps. I'm not too experienced in it. So I might, have been like, who's this Ramones band that everyone's talking about? That could be embarrassing, but we're going to go with it anyway. So we got this big, giant white gorilla. I'm telling you right now, I picked this one just because look at it, man. It's fun. It's ridiculous. We have the giant white gorilla with the brain, sci-fi brain scanner control device. This man's controlling it in this truck. I did some close-up shots, and the angle and the way that the truck is painted, the man inside the truck, it just makes it look like it's coming alive, like it's popping out. It's really incredible. The detail in the gorilla's face. Yeah, I love this. I love it. It's such a fun cover. Fiction should be fun. You know, I don't need to sit around and think about deep philosophical thoughts. You know, I need giant white gorillas being mind controlled by a man in an old-fashioned truck. That's what I need. Shit. Moving on. What number are we on? Number 7. We got The Lone Eagle. This is from June 1938. The artist or illustrator? How do you guys like to say it? I hear everyone say illustrator. Maybe I should switch to that. The illustrator is Eugene M. Franzden. So I really wanted to put one of the plain pulps in this video. And I love the way that this is the circle. It has the main action in the circle. And then the plane is popping out of the circle, and the explosions are popping out at the bottom, but it's like everything else is contained inside the circle with the white background, which makes it pop even harder. Man, the oranges, the greens, I love the old school plane. This is from 1938. This is just what planes look like. It just looks so of the era. It looks so exciting, so of the era. I did read a couple stories in here, and it was cool, but I think that the G8s might be a little more fun, a little more ridiculous, a little more pulpy. I don't know. This was good. It was great stuff. I don't know. We're not talking about the stories. Yeah, beautiful cover art there. Everything about it. I love it. It makes me excited to read about planes. I never thought when I was a youngster that I'd be sitting around here 48 years old reading plane magazines. Who knew? Who knew the paths you would take? All right. Number 6. Yeah, well, number 6. Fantastic Adventures, again, July 1952. This cover art is by Walter Pop. That's a name I do recognize. My cover looks like there was some printing error, like it wasn't lined up, the registration wasn't very good. But it's still beautiful. Like that's how great this artwork is. It's still killing it. So we got this swamp scene. Who that likes vintage paperbacks doesn't like a good swamp scene? We got this giant robot here. It looks like he's something out of DuckTales. And then the man and the woman look like they're from Indiana Jones. You mix DuckTales, Indiana Jones, and then you stop and think, like, hold on a second. This isn't reminiscent of DuckTales and Indiana Jones. This is where DuckTales and Indiana Jones got their stuff. It's always amazing to me the more I learn about Pulp Fiction of how it affected like the mainstream pop culture storytelling. Everything came from the pulps. The pulps. That's where it was at. So what's great about this is it's cross-genre. It's not just science fiction. It's adventure. It's swamp noir. What year is this? This is 1952. So that means paperbacks were already killing it. Swamp noir was already a thing. So we're mixing like 3 three genres, three subgenres here. Yeah, you know what? And I want to read it. It makes me want to read it, and that's one of the biggest draws of this artwork. It makes you excited. How did these people get into this situation? What does that duck robot want? Why is it after them? Why is she dressed so nice? Her hair's done. Nice blue dress. Busting out. I like a busty bust around here. Number 5. We're on number 5. We got New Detective. Had to have some detective pulp in there. This is from July 1946, and there's no credit given to the cover artist. So I looked it up online, and I found a website called Galactic Central. And on Galactic Central, it had all the covers listed in order for New Detective. And this one was unnamed, but the 3 above it and the 3 below it were all done by Raphael M. DeSoto. And it literally, like, he has the same cover model woman here. It looks exactly the same. I'm going to go ahead and say that it is Raphael M. DeSoto that did this beautiful cover. So this cover is, you'd think, oh, hold on a second. I just looked at that banging swamp sci-fi craziness. This is very basic. There's something about the dark black cover and people coming out of the shadows that I just love. I love the contrast of how pale she looks, how ivory this woman is, their blonde hair and her ivory skin. It just looks menacing. So it's got this Frederick Brown story here. The Song of the Dead, a novel of terror in the night. So you mix that, you take that, the title, the little blurb, and you put it on this cover, the solid black background. It just looks so romantically crime. It tells you what it is, tells you what it's going to feel like. It's dark, it ain't pretty, it's gritty. Love it. Oh, it also has a David Goodis story in there. But we're not talking about the authors, remember? What number are we on? Number 4. We got an unknown. Street and Smith's Unknown. This is from January 1940. Cover art by H.W. Scott. W. I went to broadcasting school, college for a minute, and that's one of the first things they taught you. W. Anyway. So if you don't know, Unknown is John W. Campbell's answer to Weird Tales. He's the Pepsi to Weird Tales Coke. He's the Outer Limits to Weird Tales Twilight Zone. And it's pretty good. It's awesome. I mean, it's not as good as Weird Tales, but it rules. It's great. Look at this cover. They got amazing cover right here. They're bringing it. They're bringing the fire. We got this Puritan-looking... Was that a woman? A man? Puritan figure walking away from this explosive fire where it looks like they are burning people. And outside of the fire explodes this giant demon. I don't know. Is she running away? Are they running away? They did something wrong. They burnt an innocent person. I can imagine that happening. So now this demon is coming after the person that they should go after. That's what I'm seeing. I can't remember if I read this one or not. So there we go. We got the beautiful colors. The orange, the golds, the subtle greens. Look at that sky. Look at that sun. What a perfect vision. Soldiers of the Black Goat by Marion O'Hearn. That is one of the first pulp magazines I bought. At the time, at the bookery where I bought most of these, he had a ton of these. And they were like $10. And I didn't know that it was all gold. Shit, if I walked in there now and he had them all for $10, I'd be walking out with 20 of them. We are on number 3, top 3. We got another Fantastic Adventures. I really love the artwork on the Fantastic Adventures more than the content, I think. Whereas I like the contents on the other ones down there, the detective and the boxing, more than the cover art. The Fantastic Adventures was killing it. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, they just knew. Sci-fi people want to see top and cover art. So there we go. We got it. No, this is from December 1951. And the cover illustrator is Robert Gibson Jones. so much going on in this cover, and it just goes back to, it's like 3D. It's deep. You got the giant hand, the classic giant hands is a Pulp Fiction thing. The giant hand coming in. This little lady, and she looks like she just was a performer at a sideshow, a circus sideshow. She's on this white horse tearing ass through this lake, and then there's these giant goblin men popping out of the lake. There's just so much craziness going on. It's colorful, it's bright, it instantly makes images pop up in your head. What could this story possibly be? How did this lady get in this situation? What's she running from? Giant hands. Are there really these giant hands after her? Who are these goblin men? It's beautiful. Then we got number two. Number two, I just recently purchased this one, so you might have seen it in my haul. I got the Golden Fleece here from December 1938. Cover illustrator Harold S. DeLay. I had been eyeing this one for a long time. Like I said in the haul, it has $65 is usually, that's pretty up there for me. I don't go much higher than that. But we're talking about the cover here. So this cover is, the way the stylistically looks like, it almost looks like a painting that would be in a museum. Like, it's a little looser. It's not as pinpoint detail like the sort of the more like comic style artistry. A little softer. Once again, we have the complementary colors of the red and the gold, the blue. I don't know, it's very simple, but it just looks so romantic. This cover is very romantic to me. It just looks classic, something that you would not see that's being created today. Nothing created today looks like this. Maybe that's what I mean by it looks like it belongs in a museum. You know, I don't know much about art or art style, so I can't explain exactly what I'm trying to say. But yeah, there we go. Golden Fleece, historical adventure. It's just action and adventure, the historical aspect. It's an E. Hoffman Price story. That was one of the biggest selling points for me. And the cover. Great stuff. Then here we are, number one. My favorite pulp cover that I own is no surprise who the artist is. It's Margaret Brundage here on this Weird Tales from July 1935. Has that Edmund Hamilton being the main story, the Avenger from Atlantis. But more importantly, it has a C.L. Moore, Jarrell of Jory story in there. And the cover art is just classic Weird Tales. Are they the best? Was Weird Tales the best at covers? At stories? The best pulp in general? I guess it depends on what you like. And, you know, I got a lot more to check out before I make a definitive answer to that question. But I love Weird Tales. It's my favorite. So on this cover we got this volcano in the city that looks like it's being flooded. There's a volcano just shooting fire into the sky, and all these souls, this kind of hellish looking explosion of people all crammed together, naked and miserable. And then we have this woman holding this key, the woman whispering over her. Have you ever seen Ninth Gate? It almost looks like one of those drawings, like these cryptid satanic drawings. What does the key mean? What is that woman whispering? What has this woman done to make this city overflow with water and kill all these people? Damn their souls to hell. And of course we got the colors, the oranges, the greens, subtle blue, the gray of the people. Ooh, they look so nightmarish. Yeah, this is stuff out of nightmares. And it's number one. It's my number one favorite Pulp Fiction cover. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and aren't sad that I didn't do comic books. I do have some. I used to collect the Silver Age horror comics. They're affordable, but it didn't really stick with me. And I wanted to show off pulps instead because I'm more excited about it. I will say that if we're going to talk about comics, my number one favorite comic is the EC Comics just like the weird tales. I kind of think they're like the equivalent comic book of the three of the horrors, and all of them. All of the EC stuff was just amazing. It was very pulpy, and I liked that they had lots of text in there. It was a lot of artwork, but there was so much text too. So it was like reading full stories. So I kind of like that better than what came later, where it was more spaced out. It's just the kind of dialogue that was in the comics talk bubbles, whatever they're called. Anyway, we're talking about comics now, and I have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to embarrass myself any further. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Ben. Thanks to everyone else. I know everyone's involved, not just me. It was a joke. And I'm out of here.